In the quiet farmlands of Concession in Zimbabwe, a boy was born in 1986 to the Gondo family. They named him Bright, a name filled with hope, promise, and expectation. And for many years, the boy truly lived up to it. Bright was calm, disciplined, intelligent in a way that impressed every adult who met him. He walked early, he spoke early, and he learned faster than any other child. People believed he was destined for greatness. Perhaps a doctor, a lawyer, or a future leader. No one imagined a shadow growing quietly behind his brilliance. At Dan Primary School, Bright quickly became the star pupil. He topped every exam. Teachers adored him. Parents in the community pointed to him as an example for their own children. He was polite but reserved, hardworking but competitive, quiet yet observant in a way other children were not. But there were small things easy to ignore: a stubborn streak, a growing arrogance, a tendency to manipulate other children, and occasional disappearances of pencils, erasers, and little items from classmates. Nothing alarming, nothing serious, just quirks, the kind people explained away. Bright's journey continued at St. Alban Secondary School, a modest rural school in Zimbabwe. The school itself was unremarkable, but it had a reputation for shaping the lives of its students. When Bright arrived in 2007, he was unnoticed at first, blending in with the hundreds of other people. Yet very quickly, he rose to the top of his class. Teachers and students alike could not ignore his brilliance. By the end of the first term, Bright had rewritten the record books. Years later, there will be no doubt that he was the brightest student ever to walk the corridors of St. Alban Secondary School. But among the students, the picture was different. They noticed that Bright could switch personalities quickly. One moment gentle and friendly, the next cool and intimidating. Some students whispered that he bullied quietly, subtly, without leaving evidence. Others said he had a habit of taking things that didn't belong to him. Still, nothing was extreme enough to bring real scrutiny. Bright remained the pride of the school. After secondary school, things shifted. Bright did not go to university as expected. Opportunities passed him by. His brilliance became unstable, like a flame without a direction. By 2012, he was involved in petty crimes, housebreaking, small thefts, deceiving neighbors, disappearing for days. His family was shocked. They hoped it was just a phase. But then came the arrest. Bright was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He served 5 before managing to escape custody. His sister quietly took him in. The family still believed he had goodness inside him. A young man who simply needed another chance. They could not have known what he was becoming. Life after prison was unstable. Bright drifted between odd jobs. He pretended to be a game ranger near Lake Chiveru, a place visited by locals and travelers. Sometime later, villagers reported hearing about strange incidents around the dam. A woman who went missing, another who escaped an attack, burning clothing found in the bushes. People talked, of course. But rumors in rural Zimbabwe were endless. Nothing was clear. Nothing pointed to anyone specific. And Bright himself never seemed connected to the whispers. He moved quietly, spoke politely, kept to himself. Bright eventually filed his own bail application in a case unrelated to the dam incidents. Miraculously, it was approved. His family welcomed him home again. They prayed for him, encouraged him, believed he would rebuild his life, and for a short while he seemed stable. He even met a woman. Her name was Silent, who would later become his wife. To her, he was loving, supportive, intelligent, sensitive. She never imagined there was anything to fear. While Bright lived quietly with his wife, something unsettling began happening across multiple regions. In Glendale, women went missing after walking to the shops or fetching firewood. In Marunda, bodies were discovered in plantations, assaulted and abandoned. In Mutare, a primary school teacher disappeared while traveling home. In Nyanga, villagers reported seeing a suspicious man near the mountains. The cases seemed unrelated. Different districts, different victims, different circumstances. Police chalked it up to ordinary crime, domestic issues, or robberies gone wrong. No one suspected a single thread connecting them. Pastor Nelia Titi Maringa, known for praying beneath the tall gum trees, also vanished. People recalled seeing a man talking to her the day she disappeared, but no one recognized him. The description was vague. Nothing pointed towards any known suspect. Her disappearance frightened the entire community. Women began walking in groups. Parents warned daughters not to travel alone. Still, there was no face, no identity, and no answer. Police were overwhelmed. No CCTV, no forensic technology. Crimes committed far from populated areas. No consistent witness descriptions. Theories circulated. Was it a ritual killer? A gang? A stranger passing through the villages? Someone mentally disturbed? No one imagined the truth was far closer than they realized. And right in the middle of it all, Bright lived quietly with his wife, attending church, doing small jobs, and blending into the rhythm of daily life. Over several months, police began analyzing the few items recovered from different crime scenes. Burnt clothes, scattered belongings, phone records, footprints, fragments of testimony from traumatized survivors. A pattern slowly emerged. Multiple victims had interacted with the same phone number shortly before their deaths. The number belonged to Silent, Bright's wife. Not because she contacted the victims, but because her number appeared through call diversions, shared SIM use, and triangulated tower hits. Police brought Silent in for questioning. She was terrified, not because she was guilty, but because she did not understand how her number was involved. After hours of interrogation, she revealed one key detail. Her husband often used her phone. That information would change the entire direction of the investigation. Silent was placed under surveillance. Detectives prepared a trap. She was asked to contact her husband as usual, calmly, lovingly, without letting him suspect anything. Bright arrived at the arranged meeting spot, expecting nothing unusual. He approached peacefully, unaware of the armed officers hidden around him. When the command was finally given, police surrounded him from every direction. Bright froze, shocked, confused, unprepared. He was arrested. During interrogation, survivors identified him. His footprints matched tracks from the multiple crime scenes. Items belonging to victims were found in his possession. His movements aligned perfectly with disappearances timelines. His calm demeanor disappeared as evidence mounted. The brilliant boy, the teacher's favorite, the community's pride, Bright Zhantali, was responsible for more than 20 murders across Zimbabwe. Women who trusted him, women who met him by chance, women who crossed his path at the wrong moment. The ghost who moved from district to district was indeed Bright Zhantali. For nearly a decade, Zimbabwe had been haunted by unexplained disappearances and horrific killings. No one had imagined the face behind it. A genius child, a promising student, a polite young man, a loving husband, a serial killer hiding behind brilliance. The world learned the truth only when the final handcuffs snapped shut. Bright Zhantali, the boy everyone believed would change the world for the better, changed it in the darkest way imaginable. Bright Zhantali was arrested and charged with multiple counts of rape and murder in Zimbabwe. Following his arrest, he was committed to the psychiatric unit at Chikirobe Maximum Security Prison for evaluation. As of the latest reports, his trial had been deferred pending psychiatric assessment, and no final verdict or sentence had been publicly announced. While he is accused of murdering over 20 women, the legal process is still ongoing, and his ultimate sentence remains undetermined. Bright Zhantali's story is a chilling reminder that darkness can hide behind the brightest of smiles. Over 20 women lost their lives to his hands, and countless families were left shattered. His intellect, once admired, had been a tool for unimaginable evil. Sometimes the most ordinary faces conceal the most unimaginable horrors. Bright Zhantali's alleged crimes have left deep scars on the communities he terrorized. And thanks to diligent investigation and courage, his arrest brought hope for justice. Whether the wounds would ever truly heal remains for the courts to decide.